And welcome back to the Passion Show. This is Harrowings Live with Hal Gill, your host. My neighbor's ride is here. The old Cadillac Escalade will get Maxine Waters to Congress today. Apparently, Congress has been in session, and there's been a lot of activity there. I saw from yesterday's news they were haranguing RFK Jr., who was arguing for more testing of vaccines before releasing them, as opposed to pushing things out without proper testing. That was his take. And of course, there are some 1,000 HHS employees demanding his resignation. Sounds like the popular will is that he stays in, but who knows? If I was him, I'd probably stick it out because I think that his agenda of making America healthy again is a good one. Whether or not he's doing the right things, making the right choices, it's anybody's guess. But I think actually we could probably do a lot more analysis on that and get to some truth as opposed to those histrionic kind of attacks on his credibility and ad hominems and things like that. Sun's coming up. Looks like a beautiful day again. Of course, we have to tackle the issues that the humanity is facing. So I've been running those by a couple of different models of AI that are available on the phone. They all pretty much are in agreement about what we're facing. And of course, they're mirroring back what we've already identified. And they're also talking about solutions we've identified. And I think sometimes get a little creative about how we might be able to attack things and using our technologies and how we might organize them, orchestrate them, and manage them and govern them. The governance part is pretty important, right? So I don't know. I don't know how things are going to turn out. But I do know that most of us are pretty clueless. And we do well to pool our knowledge and try to get to a consensus that makes sense and then test it out and then iterate it until we refine it and fix problems that we might engender without intending to. That book's still there. I think she said they're $15 for hardbacks. That seems a little high. No, $10 for hardcover. That seems a little high. But they don't seem to mind storing them, that's for sure. That place is packed with paper. All sorts. It's buried. Me too. I've got a lot of paper to deal with. And I'm not dealing with it much. I'm doing a lot of talking to other people and enjoying the relationships we're building and trying to participate in this world. It is the work. Well, Harrowings is my work. And I continue to work at it. I'm hoping to see the world, transform itself as it goes. And doing what I can to move the needle for others. I think that's really important. The other-centeredness of it all, trying to help others, not harm them. Got into a discussion with a guy with a potty mouth yesterday, Eric Nixon. But, when it comes down to it, I got the impression that he's being real, And I don't think it's necessarily to be crude to be real, but, this is his style. So there it is. Now we've got other people coming on. I don't think we're going to have the level of crudity from our guest today. This will be the third or fourth time we've talked. And I think we're making it a standing 10 o'clock thing on Fridays to check in with Kay Stoner and see the state of AI research that she's doing, or generative relational AI. And I think that's the important thing, that we have a relationship with our tools. Now, a good craftsman never blames his tools. Good craftsman looks at his own hands and his own use of his tools to determine how to best fix problems you might have engendered. Yeah, that's the way it is. So it's a 7:13. Wondering if I should risk the walk down Connecticut Avenue. It's pretty peaceful. And Oops. Shorter that way. I think I'm going to loop around. I just don't want to run into people that make them feel awkward or anything. I don't feel very awkward myself. I'm enjoying my life day at a time. 48, I think it's today, since I've been going to any meeting I'm not asked to lead. When I am asked to lead them, I quite often am talking about Our Great Responsibility, a book published in 2019. And we have a great responsibility. It's been entrusted to all of us who have darkened the doors of Alcoholics Anonymous and identify as members thereof through our desire to stop drinking. That's the only requirement for membership. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think it's like, oh, they make you find your higher power. No, people try to quite often out of ignorance, but that's not it. It's just one of us working with another, sharing experiences, suffering, and that that bonding over shared suffering. That's what it's all about. I'm not trying to gaslight you, although that is a gaslight. So we have only two with me now. The bigger lie. Hey, good to have you. I'm on R Street Northwest, approaching the corner of 19th, talking a little bit about, the transformation I've been going through over the past 48 days and the past year and change. It's been actually 13 months. And what's today? The 5th? And then that's 3 days since I escaped labor or was set free from wage slavery. Remember what it was like not being able to, oh, let go of the paycheck flowing in. I didn't like what I was doing that much. I thought I was doing a fairly good job at it, but it was frustrating because there's a lot of dysfunction in the teams. There was power and impotence and hostility rife among the different players. And people could get things done because they didn't know what to do. They just knew they weren't doing it. And the result was pretty much just a grind as people headed towards their respective retirements, ducking on the government teat, so to speak. And there's a lot of that going on right now. People are trying to head to the exits, and a lot of them feel that they were not well used in their roles. And it's really tragic that people feel that way. I myself have had those feelings, and I look at my part in it, though. I think that's the important thing. I have a role to play in my own trajectory through life, even though it has seemed to be more of a careen than a career. Certain choices were made. The discussion with Eric Knudsen yesterday was touching upon how we don't regret any of it. If we'd known better, we would have done better, but sometimes you win, sometimes you learn, as the old song says. So I've got a whole troop of us coming down pike here. And the passing show goes on and on, with or without us. Should I go there? No, I don't think so. People who travel it. It's good to see who's out about. I used to patronize the DuPont Circle Coffee Collective. That was my first venue for my office hours. I've adapted and I've moved over to Daily Provisions. It's a little more expensive than average, but I ended up spending about the same amount, roughly. They're ready. And we're going to wrap up the passing show at this juncture. Let's see what's happening.